All right, what's going on, everybody? As we know, we got KSI versus Dillon Danis on March 29th. And my thoughts for this fight are overall very mixed because, as we know, Dillon Danis did not look very good against Logan Paul at all. He didn't even look like he trained boxing whatsoever. He was just holding up his guard, taking punches. So, my main concern with this fight is Dillon Danis really training? Is he really putting in the work before this KSI fight? Because we know the buildup of this fight is going to be very good. We know they're going to talk their shit. But is Dillon Danis going to come in not to fight again and waste everybody's time? Or is he going to come in to actually scrap and be prepared for this fight at least? So what we're going to do is I'm going to react and break down Dillon Danis' new sparring footage that he's released coming up to his KSI fight. And we're going to see if he has made any improvements and if I think he's taking his fight seriously or not. But real quick, before I get into the video, 95% of you guys aren't subscribed, so if you like influencer boxing, or UFC content, I post 3 to 4 times a week on this channel at least, so make sure you subscribe. I appreciate you. Okay, so this is fairly recent. We're going to see what Dillon Danis got, see if he's making any improvements since the last time I saw him spar. Very nonchalant. Who the fuck is he sparring? He's just sitting there taking it, bro. So, I know as he throws the jab with his backhand like this, it's very similar to how Nate Diaz throws his punches. Obviously, that wasn't very high output sparring. He was just kind of beating up on a guy with headgear on. It's very confusing. I know he's probably just letting him work, but Dillon Danis was working on his 1-2 there. I seen that very short 1-2. I don't know if he thinks KSI is going to be fighting like this at any point in their fight. I would like to see if he's even facing people that have KSI's style to get ready for it. Like, this is what I mean. Like, even this sparring footage, he doesn't look like he's going very hard. I understand that not every single sparring session is super hard, but I just want to make sure that he's getting worked. Like, obviously output coming back at him, because that is going to be the most of the KSI fight, because KSI is probably going to be applying a pressure the most of the time. So how the hell do I grab something out of that? How does Wade do this shit? Obviously I can't do this reaction content exactly how I want till I get a PC. I just got to play through and talk during it. But in KSI reacted to this footage on Instagram saying, I'm going to knock out this pussy so badly, and that's what's going to have to happen, because if KSI doesn't dust Dillon Danis, that's when things are going to be a serious problem, because Logan Paul beat him and even beat him dominantly. So even if KSI has a little bit of an issue, that's when it's going to be a problem. Even if he goes to decision, I think KSI has even said on his channel, if he doesn't knock out Dillon Danis, it's an L. So I'm glad he has that mindset. He literally does have to knock him out. I know there's some other footage of Dillon Danis sparring. I'm about to pull it up in a second, but I just want to talk about KSI's reaction to this. But like I said, you better knock him out, because this fight should not be happening besides the spectacle of you knocking out Dillon Danis. Like, this isn't a competitive fight. So he needs to make it look easy, in my opinion. Like, very easy. So we got another short little clip of him. Let's see if this is a bit more high output. Okay. See, he's actually moving his feet here, okay? So, that's all we get, but... So, he has a very unorthodox way of throwing punches. He is very awkward with it. You can tell that he's trying to get his head off center line, but again, it's very awkward. He moves his feet pretty well. I don't know if it's necessarily boxing footwork, but, you know, this is... If he's throwing at least like this, it'll be more than the Logan Paul fight. Definitely will get himself into serious trouble if he's throwing like this. And who knows? There's still mad time in the camp, so maybe he adjusts. But for now, interesting is all I got to say. Very interesting. I definitely see the movement of KSI giving Dillon issues, because it even gave Tommy Fury issues in their fight. And obviously he has so much boxing experience. And seeing how awkward Dillon's movement in striking is not a good sign at all. But we got some more footage, a longer footage of Dillon Danis in MMA gloves, so we'll see where this goes, but let's see what Dillon Danis got. Oh. Nice guillotine transition. Little leg lock. Oh, okay, with some striking. Drop somebody. Oh, overhand. Overhand again. Gonna try to talk over this music. He likes that overhand. Usually because it looks like you're shooting for a takedown is when that works. There he goes to the takedown. I thought he was in a boxing gym for this fight. So, alright, so I guess he has some nice body punches because that's two people he hurt with the body shots. We see a left overhand that he has now, so maybe throwing an overhand into KSI's blitz is not a good idea either. Oh man, I just don't see this going very well for Dillon. I'm trying to like weave some sort of way where he's improved and if it could make this fight more interesting, but oh man, this is not looking good for Dillon, dude. Now, this is just growing my concerns even more because if you know anything about KSI is he is extremely hardworking. He's going to be prepared for this fight. He's going to be training like he's fighting Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson or whatever. It doesn't matter. He's always going to be putting the work in. If Dillon Danis isn't taking his build-up seriously, it's just going to be another shit show like the Logan Paul fight. And yeah, if he's just not good and he gets knocked out and it's a spectacle, that's one thing. But if he's just not going to throw with KSI and he makes it so he just doesn't get knocked out and he's not a clip on Twitter again, like the Logan Paul fight, like I said, if he's just in there not to get knocked out and just walk out with a paycheck, this is just going to be a waste of time. So this is when I start to get concerned when I see him grappling in the camp again and not really seeming like he's facing that high-level competition in sparring if they're dropping him with body shots, no offense, but I just don't see this going very well. I'm starting to get very concerned on how Dillon is taking this fight. Sure, KSI could potentially still get Dillon out of there if Dillon's just running away the entire time, but it is very hard to knock someone out who is not trying to fight you, especially if he's just going to throw up his high guard. Maybe KSI could hurt him to the body if he's throwing up that high guard. I don't know, but this is still very concerning. Like I said, I just want Dillon Danis to be game and make this a fight and come in scrapping and maybe have some embarrassment from the Logan Paul fight. Maybe he wants to prove something, but based off this footage so far, I could just see him saying after the fight, oh, boxing is stupid anyways. That's what he said in the Logan Paul fight. He's just going to say, oh, boxing is stupid, MMA is the real fighting. And it's just going to be the same thing all over again. So this is my concern. Is he really taking this serious? I don't know. From what I've seen, it looks like he's at least boxing, but it's just hard to trust Dillon Danis, for sure. So yeah, man, let me know if you guys think Dillon Danis is going to come to fight or he's going to make it a shit show like the last fight. Let me know in the comments. Like I said, I think the build-up of this fight is going to be entertaining. Obviously, they got personal right off rip hours after the fight got announced. So the build-up's going to be great, I'm sure, but if it doesn't perform in the ring, I really don't see the point. I know that KSI tried to find other opponents that said no, and obviously the Wayne Bridges thing fell through. Should have, because that was an awful announcement, but yeah, KSI's opponent selection has been very bad recently. Even some of the names, like he said Nate Diaz, Tony Ferguson, Donald Cerrone. Like, Tony Ferguson, dude, you wanted to fight Tony Ferguson, you thought that was a good idea. I just don't know what KSI, he's in a very weird spot because all the good fights for him, they either don't want to fight him or they're tied up with something else. Like Masvidal is apparently tied up with the UFC, but he said that he didn't get an offer by KSI saying it was cap. So that was very interesting. KSI versus Jorge Masvidal would honestly be perfect if he's not going to do Darren Till. Obviously, the Darren Till fight is exactly what we want to see, but KSI says he's not used to that weight yet. So, yeah, man, hopefully after this Darren Till or after this Jake Paul, hopefully this is just a stepping stone for his next fight. And like I said, he has to knock out Dillon Danis. He has to dust Dillon Danis or this is going to be an issue for him. If he doesn't get Dillon Danis out of there, his stock will plummet. So to answer the question, is Dillon Danis taking his training camp seriously? I don't know, man. It's very hard to trust Dillon Danis. If he's rolling as much as he is in that video, I don't know if he is. He should strictly only be focused on boxing right now if he even wants to remotely have a chance. And just to make this fight entertaining, because if he goes in there and not throw again, then he probably won't even get another opportunity. Because is the GFL even going to really want him if he just sits there and gets beat up by KSI and not even put up a fight? Probably not. So I don't really know what his plan is, but hopefully this fight ends up being entertaining and not a waste of time. That's all I care about, because yes, I like KSI, but I don't want to see him taking these bad opponents and wasting his time, especially if he wants to get ready for Jake Paul. How is Dillon Danis going to get you ready for Jake Paul? But yeah, man, that's all I got to say. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss any more posts. A lot of you watching aren't subscribed, so I don't really understand that. If you fuck with the channel, just subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys for listening to me yap like usual. God bless every single one of you, and peace out. I'm a sin, huh? I'm a sin, huh? I'm a sin, huh? I'm a sin, huh? Yeah, yeah. Lord, forgive me for what I'ma do. You can't even please her, I gotta go prove. I'm finna go see her, I'm making a move. Finna go deeper, she feeling the groove, huh? Yeah, very funny, cause the boys that she picking are really astute. The bitches be basic, it really ain't news. People are soft and they finna get chewed. Worry about me and I steady improve. She low could be sleeping, I'm really that dude. Got this man geeking, they give me a boost. Rubber, I'm taking, I'm rapping like Zeus. If he come pull up, he getting a two. Hope he don't funnel me losing the two. Hope he don't rubble me, need a masseuse. Shout out to Jerry, he finna get juice.